What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Honestly, there is so much going on. There's no excuse for me to not be putting out at least one video a day at this point. Like, I really need to get on it because it's crazy what's going on. This infighting that is happening on the right, it is absolutely insane. Let me try and break it down for you guys the best way that I can. You have the Israel First crowd. What does Israel First mean? Okay, you have the Ben Shapiro and some of these other people on the right, okay? They haven't directly come out and said that they're Israel First. However, they don't need to. Their rhetoric and the things that they say and stand for and advocate for obviously shows that they care more about the best interests of Israel than they do about America. So those people are being branded as Israel First. Now you have the Nick Fuentes, America First, whatever movement. Those people, I guess, they consider themselves to be America First no matter what, right? And then you have MAGA, okay? In terms of Brett Cooper, I think she kind of falls somewhere in the middle between still MAGA, but also America First as well. That's personally how I feel. Now, in terms of the story that we got right now, people online are now calling Brett Cooper the white Candace Owens. I'm going to tell you guys why she said that. It's because Brett Cooper chimed in on the mega controversy that has been happening that started when Tucker Carlson brought on Nick Fuentes and interviewed him. Even on the right, Nick Fuentes is extremely controversial, and a lot of people on the right don't even like that guy. And it kicked off this entire MAGA civil, Republican civil war, whatever you want to call it. And so Brett Cooper chimed in. People got mad at Brett Cooper and were like, hey, we're going to cancel her or whatever. And that the effects of that are still happening. Like I said, it's actually kind of funny because at one point I thought that the right was more united than anybody. Like when Trump first got elected in 2024, I was like, wow, the right looks really united. Like they got the speaker, Mike Johnson, on board. All the influencers were on board. And I think you have this honeymoon period where, and let's keep in mind, guys, that at one point, Nick Fuentes was pro-MAGA. He was on Donald Trump's side. He's been critical of Trump. Candace Owens was on Trump's side. She's been really critical on Trump lately. However, to be honest with you, I have not been a fan on the way the current trajectory that her channel and her content has been going. I have not been a fan of. Traditionally and in the past, I have enjoyed her content, and I typically used to like what she had to say. Now, I don't know what to make of what the heck she got going on. But she did go ahead and actually speak out on all the people who are now calling Brett Cooper the white Candace Owens. And for those who don't know, that is not a compliment. Even though Candace Owens is actually the biggest streamer, podcaster, whatever you want to call it. I think you would pretty much consider her a podcaster. The biggest podcaster in the world at this point is pretty much Candace Owens. She gets more views than Joe Rogan. Yes, she does. She gets an unbelievable amount of views. She is huge. And so, but she's also branded as this crazy conspiracy nut. And, the way that she's handled the assassination of Charlie Kirk with all these conspiracies that a lot of people don't agree with, people are branding her as crazy. So when they say that you're the white Candace Owens, that is not a good thing. That is an insult. They're calling Brett Cooper that because of her take on the Nick Fuentes doing an interview with Tucker Carlson. Let's actually go ahead and listen to what Candace Owens actually had to say about this. Here we go.
They're already calling her the white Candace Owens. If you're Aaron Wexler, here's an actual tweet. Okay, white Candace, what is a Nazi then? Like, what? How does that make any sense? Why are you calling Brett Cooper the white Candace? Like, why are you even thinking about the fact that Brett Cooper is white? Why do we keep seeing this recurring theme of Jewish?
They're just simply calling her the white version of you. That's all they're saying. Because obviously Candace is a black person. Brett Cooper is white. They're basically saying that all Brett Cooper is another Candace Owens, but the white version. She's just white. That's it. She's the white Candace Owens. That's all they're saying.
Jewish supremacists constantly having to comment on white people. Like, why does she have to be the white Candace? That's ridiculous. We don't even have the same ideas. She's saying something sensible, but it gets worse. Ted Cruz, who's a pretty sensible guy, comes out and tries to big time her. I don't know how he thought that would land. She's 23 years old. It looks very loserish to try to big time a 23-year-old with, who are you? Here's what he had to say.
Well, to be fair, Ted Cruz has been a loser for a long time. I don't know why they keep voting for him down there. That dude, he's been a loser. Like, I don't get it. And for what I understand, he's actually one of the most hated senators on the right. Like, people just straight up do not like that guy in Washington. Like, I don't know why they keep voting for that guy. But yeah, Ted Cruz doing something loserish or being a loser is not that big of a surprise to me.
For you, here's what he had to say. I don't know who this angry lady is, but she's missing a key distinction. Fuentes calls himself a Nazi. He has said that Hitler is very cool and Hitler was right and he is on Team Hitler. If you explicitly side with and advocate for Hitler, you are an actual effing Nazi. Like, first off, class it up. We don't need you dropping F-bombs to a 23-year-old. Secondly, trying to big time her and act like you don't know who she is when you have done various things with the Daily Wire, including you were featured in a movie that Brett Cooper starred in at the Daily Wire, Lady Ballers. You're good friends with Michael Knowles. You know fully well who Brett Cooper is. And like, that was a super classless tweet coming from you. Like, what does she have to do? Like, run for president and not win to be recognized on a global scale? Again, doing nothing to bring people over to their cause. And because it's not just about trying to big time people, but you will find that there is this current of just sheer evil that Zionism goes hand in hand with, trying to deconstruct who an individual is very quickly. They began pouring through all of Brett's old content, looking for ways to go after her character.
Okay, so basically, they're trying to come after Brett Cooper now. By the way, let's make something very clear. The one good thing about Brett Cooper leaving the Daily Wire is her giving her honest and unfiltered opinion on Nick Fuentes going on Tucker Carlson, everybody being upset about it. The fact that she's independent now, she's able to freely speak on that. If she were still with the Daily Wire, otherwise known as the Israeli Wire, she definitely wouldn't have been able to speak on it. I've already pointed out that Matt Walsh literally can't do anything. Like, there was a streamer who tried to debate him, and he was like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, he kind of spun it in a way where he avoided the question. It's like, bro, we know you can't go and debate him on Israel because your daddy who employs you will fire you. Like, we know this. So let's get that part straight. In terms of this MAGA civil war, I think what it really comes down to is who's really right here. I don't know. There's a lot that I don't. I definitely don't agree with the Israel First people. I know that's not their official stance, but it kind of is without them saying it, you know. I definitely don't fully agree with Nick Fuentes and the Groypers. I think their views are just way too extreme. And MAGA, I don't even know where to go there. MAGA's kind of turning on Trump, but that's a different video that I'll probably make on the second channel because I do want to talk about that. I'm slowly but surely seeing MAGA turn on Trump. People are talking about how, look, my life hasn't gotten that much better. Life is still hard. Things are still expensive. And again, this is not me saying this. This is what people are saying on the internet. And the only solutions you've really got for me are a 50-year mortgage, which I might have to cover that on the second channel. And you're going to extend the time of, you know, the amount of years people could get a car loan. I think it's extended to 15 years. It's like, what are we really doing here? Like this is crazy. And then, you know, people are also bringing up the fact that the Epstein files still have not been released. That was a big thing. And then you have these emails that came out, which I do want to kind of blab about that a little bit more too, because, and again, this is why I need to make more videos because there's just been so much that's going on, but I'm just going to put this all in one video, I guess. In regards to the Epstein files and Trump, I'm sorry, not the Epstein files, but those emails, if you guys saw. So for those who don't know, there's a Democratic committee that released like 22,000 emails, but they did it in a really stupid way. Again, 22,000 emails. They did it where it's just picture by picture by picture. So when you scroll through 22,000 pages, you actually can't search because it's an image. Like, they have it in a way where you can't like search keywords to kind of skim through. You literally have to read every single email to figure out what's going on. So more emails are going to come out as people sift through it. But what you recently had that I do want to push back on, because I want to make it very clear, okay? For those who haven't figured it out yet, I'm a freaking independent. Why am I independent? Because I believe in truth over tribe and exposing all of the lies. That's what I believe in. So it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, if you're Trump, everybody. I don't care about none of that. I care about what's best for the country, what's best for the people, and fighting against actual evil, in my opinion. That is really what the core of like all of this really is. And I say that to say, in regards to the Epstein emails, they kind of made it seem like it was a smoking gun. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that yet, because one of the emails, first of all, they had a victim's name redacted. That victim was Virginia Giuffre, who already came out and testified under oath and said that Trump didn't do anything wrong and blah, 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 which I don't know if Trump did anything or didn't. It definitely seems sketchy that he's so adamant about the Epstein files not coming out. I don't know if he's trying to protect himself. I don't know if he got rich friends. I don't know if he being blackmailed. I don't know what the heck's going on. And the problem with that is, my overall point about the smoking gun thing is, when those emails came out like yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever, I think it was yesterday, they tried to make it seem like this was like, oh my God, it's the big smoking gun. It's like, but when you only see like one part of an email with some of the stuff redacted, you really don't know like what the context was. That's why my thing is, you have to release all the emails. Like, you have to. You just have to release all the emails. Now, there were parts in the emails where Jeffrey Epstein kind of made it seem like he had dirt on Trump. And again, I might have to pull that up and break that whole thing down in another video. But the bottom line is, this is getting crazy. You have, I need to paint the picture of everything that's going on so you guys understand. If this keeps up, the Republicans are going to lose the midterms, okay? They already got their butts kicked in this last election that we just had, where Zohran Mamdani won and a bunch of other people won. It was like a Democratic sweep. Republicans are going to lose the midterms if this keeps up. And then the next presidential election, Republicans can end up losing that. Why? Well, you have this infighting happening within the party. A lot of people are displeased with Trump. And then, oh my God, I have another thing I have to talk about. The H-1B visas thing. Trump came out and said, basically, we don't have people in America who are smart enough to take these jobs, so we need immigrants to come in. He literally said that. I can pull up the clip. Like, I'm telling you, the second channel, I might have to like make like 5 videos in a row for the second channel, because it's getting crazy. Speaking of the second channel, while I go ahead and end this video, because there's just a lot to cover, definitely make sure to follow the second channel, subscribe. It is called More Echoes. If, you know, honestly, the point of subscribing is, if you really enjoy my content, you like what I have to say, you like listening to me, then you should subscribe to the second channel, because, yeah, then you get to hear me here, and then you get to hear me on the More Echoes. And I actually kind of cover different things on the More Echoes channel. So, yeah. Anyway, this video has been going on long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one.